Hello and welcome to the Education on Fire podcast. The place where we share creative and inspiring learning in our schools. Season 2, Episode 22. Hello and welcome back to the Education on Fire podcast with me, Mark Taylor. I just wanted to take a little hiatus over these Easter holidays from the interviews, just to sort of check in really, and just give you just a chance just to think about what we've covered this season really, and some of the fantastic resources that have been on offer, and some of the great conversations that I've had from people. So yeah, I just wanted to just take a breath really, and I have got Peter Cancel coming on the show shortly. Sadly, he's had some bereavement in his family, which is why he's not been on some of the podcasts earlier in this season. So wish him our best wishes, but we will be hearing from him soon, where we can have a real sort of a good chinwag about some of the great resources that I've done, and do it from that sort of head teacher's point of view. But yeah, I just wanted to take the time today just to think about, with sort of budgets being tight, and we talk here a lot about money being squeezed in schools, so much of the fantastic things which have been on offer that we've talked about, all the way back from talking to BT and the Barefoot Project, having those free free CPD workshops coming into your schools, talking about computational thinking and all that, which is just fantastic, and all the access to the resources that are on their website, and you heard some of the teachers sort of how they put those in through their school. Back on episodes 10, 11, and 12, we heard all of those things going on. And then Apps for Good, you heard the excitement of the children talking about the apps that they designed, and the people that have got to the awards final, and then they've been built, and that excitement, even though this is a technology season, it's really just about the enthusiasm that comes through, both from the organisations that are putting these things together, like Apps for Good and the Barefoot Project, but it's just a tool really for the inspiration and the excitement for the children, and for you as a teacher as well, what they can really get out of their learning, and having these sort of new technological ideas just coming through as part of the curriculum, as part of what everyone's been able to do. And also the whole age range that we've had. We've had Mama Codes who are doing coding for 3 to 7 year olds. And that's just a fantastic thing to be able to do. And then all the people we talked to from the NAPE conference, we had Katie from Too Simple Software talking about Purple Mash, which is just a fantastic thing in so many schools around the UK. And Tim Rylands, who's just was an inspirational speaker on that particular day. And the really important work that Stella James is doing with Gooseberry Planet, and just all that online safety, which is just keeping our children safe, and just giving you a real platform to be able to feel secure about what you're delivering in a modern way, in a way which is really engaging with the children. So all these things are really important, and from those free resources, and Stella told us that her Gooseberry Planet, it's £3.50 per child, which is just an amazing amount of value. And before that, they've got their online platform for the children. You've got your free app for the teachers, and also the free app for the parents. And everyone is just under this one umbrella of really being able to support everyone. And it's just fantastic value. It's not costing the earth. We're not having to find money which we really don't have in that scenario, because even for that £3.50, as a parent, I'd certainly be happy to pay that. To get that sort of quality of online and online safety teaching that is so important to our children. So that's really, really important, the fact that these things aren't costing us a lot of money. And I just want to try and get a bit of conversation going with this as well. Have any of these things that we've been talking about over the last few weeks, have you had any contact with these? Have you taken part in any of these things? And also, having heard of them, have you looked into them, and have you maybe decided to take on one of these workshops or one of these projects in your school for next week? Do get in contact. Just go to the contact page on educationonfire.com. And just leave me a message, and I'd really be interested to hear exactly what you think about these things. If you just want to just tweet me and just have a sort of a short sort of message, you can do that. Go to Twitter and look for Taylor Maps, which is TaylorMapps. That's Taylor Maps. The other thing I'd like to talk about is what would be really helpful is if you're enjoying our podcast, if you're really finding it of great value, please do tell other teachers in your school, and please do mention it on your Facebook and social media, because really spreading the word is the really exciting thing for us and building our community. And we're now in well over 20 countries around the world, which is incredible. And I do get some great messages as far away from Australia and India, as well as schools all the way throughout the UK. So it's really, really great to sort of get that feedback and yeah, just feel that community, even though we're doing it through the internet and through the podcast, is really, really exciting. The other way you can really help is go to iTunes and leave a 5-star review, because with all the algorithms and things that go on, leaving a great review is just one way for the podcast to be more visible for more people, and the more people who listen to it and the more visibility we have, the greater content we can do, and the more time we can spend finding even more interesting things for you to listen to, and great resources that can really help you. Speaking of great resources, I'd like to do a shout out to the Good Stuff Primary Resources organisation. If you go to goodstuffprimaryresources.com, there's some fantastic stuff there and some great free resources as well. All you have to do is just sign up, and there's a free members area. So go and check them out and sign up and check out all the great free resources which are available. And as we said, this is a technology season, and this is a way of getting great resources and things online, and it's all part of the same thing. A little bit like when we were speaking to Kelly Long back in season 1, I think it was on episode 6. It's just the fact that our communications, through online forums and Facebook and podcasts and all of these things, we can create friends and contacts over the internet, as well as our face-to-face organisations, like with the NAPE doing their conference as well. It's great to have that face-to-face stuff and being able to listen to some great mentors and some great speakers. But when you've only got a few minutes each day or each week, it's really easy to keep that conversation going with like-minded people through the internet, and do give everyone a shout out, and let me know some of those great forums that you're using, because again, that's a great way of just really improving our community and growing it as best we possibly can. So I just wanted to, as I said, just to sort of check in and sort of say hello during this holiday period here over Easter. And we got some great things coming up in the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks, just to finish off our technology and computing season here. But I also want to take the opportunity to ask you a request, really. My next season, I'd like to do is all about the children, all about the students that you have. And so my request is, if your class would like to take part, what I'd like to hear from the children and come and interview them either via Skype, or I can, if you're close enough to where I am, I can come in and do it as part of a workshop or something, and hear what it is about their school, what is it about their education which they really like, what is it that lights their fire, what's that inspiration, how does that happen, and really get an idea of that essence of what's really important. Not the nuts and bolts about, yes, I like maths and I like English, but what is it about the way it's taught? What is it about it that really sort of gets them excited? And that's what I'd like to do, and I'd like to be able to spread that around the world. So, yes, if you're in the UK, let me know, and I can come and chat and do a workshop. If you're in any country around the world, let me know as well, because we can do it via Skype, and I'd really be interested to see whether there's a cultural difference between these things, or whether the essence of just being inspired about our learning and our education is something which actually unifies us together, which I think would be a really interesting thing to do, because essentially, we're here to give our children the great, inspiring, creative and inspirational sort of start to their journey, really, and I think that's an important thing for us to really remember, especially in this day and age, which is full of tick boxes and things that we have to do. Just have a real understanding of what the children feel about these things within the umbrella of us having to teach in the way that we do. And I think that might just give us a good starting point and a good kind of overall bird's eye view of what we're about. So again, thanks very much for listening. Get in contact. Go to educationonfire.com, and you can do Twitter, which I said was Taylor Maps, TaylorMapps, and just say hi, and let's keep building this great community. And thanks so much for the people who have got in contact, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you for listening to the Education on Fire podcast. For more information, please go to educationonfire.com.